All right. So yeah, this weekend has been really good. I have uh, I have not cried. I came close twice. Um, I realized so I got into the man shed here and I was like, man, actually this is about 10 minutes away from being how I'd expect it at its kind of neutral state, like a good place to hang out. Um, and I was walking through the garage and I'm like, this has pretty much everything in the garage is stuff that I want to be in here. And then at this point in time, it's just like moving shelving in or getting some hooks to hang things up. So, um, yeah, and I was like in my living room, which is picked up ish, but like everything in there should be in there. There's nothing, there's no piles of stuff or anything like that. Like things are getting close, and like my crazy yard. Oh, jeez. My crazy yard, which I haven't touched this year at all. So I did like a 10 by 10 section of just like raking and picking stuff up and cutting things down and like digging into the grass and the dirt and pulling out like old limbs that have been laying there forever. And yeah, like it's now got to where I'm starting to move out into the yard. Like the house is starting to get like I just didn't like I know I was trying to do a little every weekend, but every weekend felt like I was like at the bottom of a pit. And now I'm walking through places like here, and I'm like, I'm 10 minutes away from having this be dialed in. Yeah, I'm a few shelves away from having the garage be dialed in. The big shed, which has been a monster for so long that I'm just like, every time I go in there, I'm just like grabbing a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh, this could just be trash. This is done with this, gone with this. Like I'm just throwing things out, and suddenly it's emptying out, and then it'll be useful. Like it's really like that's maybe an hour away from getting that to where I like it. But there's no priority there. Like if I get sick of that, I could just close and lock the door. Um, but yeah, like I think I mean I'd be lying to say I feel good, but I wouldn't be lying to say I feel proud of how far I've come. That reminds me of the advice. So a ton of people help me here on YouTube. People that I've been communicating with for years, and know me pretty well, seen me go through a lot of things, good and bad, and a lot of great suggestions and great advice and good distractions even. Um, like trying to cheer me up, sharing bits about their own lives. And one of the advice that popped up over and over, and I remembered, like, I don't think I was ready to enact it, but like a bunch of people said, like, remember to be kind to yourself. And yesterday I did really good, and then there was a moment where I felt like I just like I kind of threw in the towel a little bit, and I feel like I let myself down. And then today I was thinking about that, and I thought about the "be kind to yourself" advice, and I realized like yesterday was really difficult, and I did a lot of stuff, and I could see what I did, and I could see how close it brought me to being done with a lot of things, or like accomplishing, having things be completely accomplished. So now it's just kind of maintaining a regular life, like a person that's not going through a bad time in their life, like just a regular kitchen instead of like a kitchen that says whoever lives here is going through bad times. Same thing, same thing with the other rooms of the house. So I just like I had a moment yesterday where I let myself down, and I'm gonna be kind to myself and say like, hey man, you did the best you could, you got as far as you could, and then you had a bit of a breakdown, and next week it'll be better. You know, Tomorrow will be better. Today will be better. So also like my work has been doing what I would consider to be like doing the right thing by me, um like if I needed something, all I needed to do is say, and people made sure that I had time. There was one day where I had to leave in the middle of the day because I wasn't coping right, and no one said anything. They're just like, all right. No, I mean they did say stuff. They're like, we'll take care of you, we'll get you out of here, and everything's gonna be great, you're gonna be fine, don't worry about it. um, one person even said like, "Hey man, don't take this as a negative sign about you." You know, like that, I thought that was beautiful. It's like don't be ashamed that you have that you're going through these feelings. So yeah, that was beautiful. I teared a little bit there, but it wasn't from sadness. It was from like gratitude. So and I did go back and thank that person later to tell them I appreciated it, and I do really do. And all my coworkers as well have been real supportive, and I really appreciate that because I mean, I know that everyone's got their own things going on in their lives, and I know also that when you're working, you're busy, and like and work sucks, and like all these things are going on. So like people are like um, giving me a moment and giving me a moment and giving me advice and listening to what I have to say and stuff like that. It's been really good. I appreciate it. Yeah, and in real life, friends, I have a few have been have been gold. Like I just so there's so few people in life that I see in the real, and man, I don't know how I would have made it some days if I couldn't go talk to somebody face to face, and even if it wasn't talking, if it was just like um, getting something to eat or working on a project or something like that. It's been just having someone around that you could turn to and say like, man, this is how I feel, and this is what I think, and this is what I would like to do, and you know, Reddit actually. So thank you, people in the real in my real world, and Reddit actually has been like surprisingly helpful. Reddit's way more amazing than I thought it was going to be when I first found it. I thought it was more like kind of similar to Facebook a little bit, but there's a huge amount of information. Like, for instance, I got like I was losing like a half pound a day, and I was at one point in time I got dizzy, and I realized that I couldn't remember when I'd eaten last, and I think it was like the previous day, and like I'd had some fruit and I had like some nuts. I think that was it for like a couple days, but I just didn't notice. And I was on like I'm a part of like a weight loss group on Reddit, and that kept popping up over and over again. They're like what's your sleep like, what's your eating schedule like write out all these like advice that was like really good, and like I'm like, okay, I could do that. I mean, I could follow directions for the most part. So yeah, my weight loss, actually, I gained a little weight actually, and I think that was good. I was in such a calorie deficit that I was feeling sick. So now I'm paying much more attention, and I have to admit that, I mean, I've got like a complicated relationship with food. And like yesterday, I made a list of things that I wanted food I wanted sent to my house. I didn't want to go shopping, and came to like $135, and it was a lot of stuff. And I had to think about it for like a day. I was like, but it's food, man. Like, I need a wider variety of things that I'm eating, and I need to start cooking. Like I made this morning. I made an omelet with like tomatoes and spices and garlic, like a lot of garlic too, and it was delicious. So, and then I wanted a snack yesterday towards the evening, and I'm like, well, I'll just have an apple, and the apple was delicious. Boy, there's a big difference in spending like $12 on a bag of apples as opposed to spending like $4 for a bag of apples. Because that $4 bag of apples showed up today. And I'm like, what? I want the big bag. I want the big apples that are like this as big as my head, not these little teeny apples. But no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Probably why I like the big apples is probably the same reason why I like pizza or burritos. Like, if you eat something big, you're just done. You're full. I read a little bit. I haven't read I can't remember the last time I read. I think it's over a year. Um, and I found it pretty difficult actually, to get my mind to focus on it. It's just been like my thoughts. Oh God, I had this most amazing experience where I became super aware of the what my regular thought patterns were. I think everybody, but I suffer from intrusive thoughts at times, um, and basically my brain just told me that like I need to spend more time like thinking about, like that's what these books do, like about adventure and like reading about hiking books uh, and kind of like just like I need to have like fantasies and goals about like where I would like to go camping and what vacations I'd like to take and what I'd like to do with my weekend or like how would I like if in a perfect world what would this backyard look like if it was perfect? What would my front yard look like if it was perfect? Like if I could just wave a wand right now, what would be the one thing I'd like change, inside my house? Like that's like some good things to have your mind be practicing. And then hopefully those become like habitual thoughts as opposed to like getting like super stressed about how I let myself down yesterday. Instead I could think like, minor blip on the radar. The more important thing is like today I'm gonna spend 10 minutes and get the man shed, the last touches of the man shed dialed in. So anyway, it wasn't a bad weekend. It was a good weekend. Finally.